Okay, today I thought it would be good to go over how I reconcile my sexuality and my faith. There's lots of different opinions out there, and none of them are right or wrong. It's not a matter of who's right, in my opinion. I think that we all need to um, find the path that works for us. And um, there are some general options for gay Mormons, and none of them are very great. But let me go over them real quick, and then I'll just talk about, um, I guess, how I feel about each of them. The four options are: first, you can leave the church and pursue life living as a gay person. Um, and the second option would be to live a heterosexual lifestyle in the church. Um, third would be to live a lifetime of celibacy within the church. And then fourth is to live a gay lifestyle, but be as much a part of the church as you can. Um, and before I really go into each of these and how I feel about them, I think first it's important to realize that sexuality is so much more complicated than gay versus straight. Um, there's a whole range of sexuality, and just because I present something um, and the thoughts that I have about these options doesn't mean that it won't or will work for you. I just want to offer my own personal opinion on things, and perhaps it'll help and maybe it won't. So the first option, to leave the church and pursue life as a gay individual, didn't really set well with me. Um, Reasons are a little bit complicated if you're not Mormon or whatever, but I did serve a mission, and I've grown up in the church. It's informed everything about my life. And, I do have faith and belief in a lot of the teachings. I believe in the gospel of Jesus Christ. I believe in the power of the priesthood. And I also believe that God speaks today, just like he did in biblical times. And I feel like taking the Mormon out of me is just as impossible as taking the gay out of me. Um, it's part of who I am. It's part of what's shaped, who I've become. So leaving the church isn't an option, in my opinion, for me. The second option, to live a heterosexual lifestyle within the church, actually appealed to me for a little while. After I came to terms with my sexuality, I was thinking, well, okay, I'm gay, it's not going to change. I know that it's going to be something I have to deal with the rest of my life. Um, so I just need to find an amazing woman who knows ahead of time and agrees to, you know, make a life with me or try to make a life with me. But the more I thought about it and the reasons why I would want to marry a woman, um, the more I realized it was a selfish desire that I had. Because the reasons why I would do it is to, fit in, to have my happily ever after that I, have always been told you need to be satisfied with life, to have kids and, you know, to be accepted and respected. And it really wasn't about, oh, I really want to be with a woman. Um, and then I started thinking about her and what if one day she started blaming herself for not being desirable to me, or um, for some reason she just, felt that it was her fault that I wasn't attracted to her. Um, and then just the fact that I couldn't love her the way that she deserves to be loved. Um, sex is so much more than physical. It's emotional and even spiritual. And to not have that part of your relationship, to not be able to express love in the most powerful way two people can, um, I think is a detriment to a relationship. And I wouldn't want to do that, to ask somebody that I love um, to go on living without that. I also thought about, if I had a daughter, would I want her marrying somebody like me? And it's not that I'm a bad person. You know, I think I would be a great friend, understanding and sympathetic, but I wouldn't be able to love her the way that she deserves to be loved. And I would want my daughter to be loved the way that she deserves. And so after considering this option for a while, I decided that this wasn't going to be the best option for me. I've also talked to many men who have chosen this, or have been counseled to do this, to marry a woman, and I find that most marriages fail eventually. Whether it's a messy divorce or if it's just an understanding that both husband and wife reach. Um, it doesn't seem to work. And there are some exceptions, but I have yet to meet an older mixed orientation couple are still together. Um, all the couples that I know that are mixed orientation couples are young. Um, just got married relatively recently, and that also didn't help my, I guess, opinion of this option. Okay, so let's see. This is not an option for me. And it's not just because, it's the church is asking me and other gay members to refrain from sex for their whole life, because they're asking a lot more than that. And even though they say it's the same as, any other single member of the church, it's not, because gay members can't act on their feelings at all. They can't date, they can't hold hands or kiss or cuddle or, even flirt without feeling like they have to talk to their bishop. They also are asked to cut off any relationships with other people they know that deal with homosexual feelings. So they don't get to even hope for the day that they'll meet the one that they love. They don't get to hope for the day that they can have a family of their own. It's a life of loneliness, and it's I don't see how progression happens anymore outside of a relationship than there would be inside of a relationship, regardless of the gender of the other person. I feel like the best way to progress for myself on this earth would be to have a committed relationship with somebody, and to have a family of my own, and raise that family the best that I can. I feel like there's much more to learn, regardless of the gender of the parents. And for me, it's not an option that makes sense to me. And I don't want to live my life waiting to die so that this can be fixed, or whatever, leaders say. I mean, if it is going to be fixed, which I don't personally believe, in the next lifetime, you are basically asking gay members of the church to wait until death to express love. And that's a tall order. So by now, I'm sure that you've all guessed that the option I choose is the last one, to live a gay lifestyle, but be as much a part of the church as I can. Let me just tell you about the future that I guess, hope for in the church. I hope that one day gay members are treated exactly like other single members of the church. Right now the church bends over backwards to provide opportunities to single adults to date and meet and marry. There's singles wards, singles activities, date nights, socials. The church and the leaders are basically cheerleaders for single adults in this dating game, and that's not the case for gay Mormons. And I would hope that one day, the church is just as interested in helping gay members find someone they want to spend their life with, someone they want to commit to, that the church would promote monogamous, committed relationships, something that gay members can look forward to and hope for, and have a reason to stay chaste before that commitment. I hope that gay couples will be welcome in wards, that they would be given callings. If they're committed to each other and they're staying true to that commitment, it would be great if they could serve in any way that they can within the church. And, even one day, hold the priesthood, or, I know it sounds blasphemous, but, have temple recommends. I'm not even going to go into temple marriage, but I think it would just be great if the day comes that my partner and I will be welcomed, included, and involved in any ward that we move into. Until then, I'm just kind of following my own heart and my own conscience. And I'm going to allow myself to find love and to be loved. And, I'm going to seek Christ in my life. And I'm going to strive to be a better person. But I'll always hope for the day when I'll be welcomed to church, and my partner as well.